Carolina takes down the Clemson Tigers. It's Locked On Sunbelt.
You are Locked On Sunbelt, your daily podcast on the Sunbelt Conference, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, Dave Schultz, Locked On Sunbelt, your teams every day. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. All right, we'll get to Troy's loss to Alabama and a Sunbelt softball tourney actually opening up today, which is a Wednesday. But what a night last night in Conway, South Carolina. Sold out for the first time. That's a little bit odd for a team that's won a national championship. And I do find it to be exactly 5,300, a little bit odd as well. But I guess 5,300 is just as random a number as 5,289. So really a tremendous night last night in Conway. And Coastal Carolina does a great job of setting the tone early, grabbing an early 2-0 lead. And I think that was important, making sure that their crowd got into it. But I will say it did look like a typical crowd in 2025 because there was a late RBI single that made it 4-2. And everybody was just looking at their phones on the grassy knoll. Did anybody else notice that? Like, didn't they just score? And everybody's looking down at the phone. It is what it is. Anyways, great job by Clemson getting a couple of runs home early on. Sylvester Alexander, he gets it going. Or Sebastian Alexander, sorry. Caden Bodine. I mean, how many catchers are leading off in America? Although I think the Yankees have the catcher leading off. They do a great job setting the table. Bodine, 2 for 4 with a run scored. Alexander, 3 for 5 with 2 runs scored. Poor Walker Mitchell. I mean, this guy got hit 4 times. And he does, I don't think he even crowds the plate, standing inside, but I don't think he crowds the plate. I've seen a bunch of guys, you know, their hands are hanging over, you know, the batter's box and hanging over. I don't even, you know, hanging over the plate. I don't really think he crowds the plate that much. And he got plunked 4 times, scored a couple of runs. And so Coastal gets 2 runs on the board in the second inning. In the first inning. Also playing great defense last night was Wells Sykes. What a great job in center field. Not 1, not 2, but 3 really good catches, preventing Clemson from trying to come back. And things can spiral out of control, right? Clemson got a run. Their third run of the game was kind of a seeing eyeball single through the right side. And so you never know what gets things going. And a good job by the Coastal Carolina center fielder. Honestly, the first time I've actually watched Coastal this year. And I'm a huge fan of center field defense. In fact, in this case, it was all going back. The best center fielders actually play really shallow. That's why Jim Edmonds, back in the day, made all those spectacular catches over his head, because he would play extremely shallow and want to take away all those cheapy singles. Like, you hit it over my head, all right, you're going to get your double or most likely home run. But I'm not going to give you a bunch of broken bat singles, okay? Can't stop them all, obviously. But I'm going to stop as many flares as I can, whereas if you hit it over my head, okay, that's on you. Good job by you. I'm not going to let you have a bunch of, Texas leaguers falling in front of me. So I appreciate really good center field defense, especially going back on the ball. And I really think the last one where he reached over his head, he's kind of reaching back a little bit. Sometimes you see these guys overrun it, and I don't think he overran it, but he did have to reach back, not only over his head, but kind of back over his head. It was just a great catch. So that's a good job by him. Pitching by Coastal Carolina was huge, and I think that's where the difference is going to be between like a Coastal Carolina and I get this is midweek, I get it, but a Coastal Carolina and a Troy is going to be the problem. Luke Jones was great. You know, the line doesn't look all that good. A couple of runs on 3 hits, 4 1/3 innings, but kind of worked in and out of jams. Didn't give up too much. Obviously, keeps Coastal in it. Works into the 5th. Darren Horn comes in, gets out of trouble, doesn't give anything up. Scott Doran, 1 inning, strikes out 1. Dominic Carbone was, he does give up that run on that seeing eye base hit. Didn't cover first base. I think that was Carbone, doesn't cover first base. And so that allows the runner to reach. And, or maybe that was Lynch. And the first baseman should have tossed it over. But anyway, gets 2 strikeouts. Awesome. Does give up that 1 run. And then Ryan Lynch, how impressive is that guy? 0.71 ERA, and now you know why, with a 73-mile-per-hour fastball. I'm sorry, 73-mile-per-hour curveball, and then 95-mile-per-hour letter-high fastball. I mean, really, really impressive. I like trying to predict pitches, and I predicted wrong. I figured with a 1-2 count, and I saw a 73-mile-per-hour fastball, I said, well, this is going to be, again, 73-mile-per-hour curveball. I thought this was going to be another 73-mile-per-hour. We're going to throw it, so much kind of in the dirt, and hopefully we block it because there are a couple of guys on base. Throw it away, and but no, he's like, here, hit it if you can, and they couldn't. So it's a great job by Coastal. They took a little bit for them to move up. Usually Warren Nolan is pretty quick. They added the win, and then they did move up. They did move up to 11. Clemson had moved down to 9 rather quickly. And then you wake up this morning on Wednesday morning, and Clemson is down to 10. Let's see if that had changed at all since I woke up. Yeah, it went back up. Clemson is 9. North Carolina is 10. Coastal Carolina is 11. But Coastal Carolina obviously solidifies themselves into hosting. They got a good job of doing that. They are playing ULM and ODU. They don't want to lose too many games to them, if any at all, especially if they want to have an outside shot. And don't kid yourselves, they have an outside shot at being a national seed. If they don't lose again and win the Sun Belt Conference tournament, they got a shot at being a national seed. All right. Their RPI is probably going to fall a little bit because of who they're playing, because the RPIs are not very good, although Old Dominion's RPI is a little sneaky. But they got a serious shot at being a national seed. So we'll see how that goes. Great night for the Sun Belt in terms of Coastal Carolina taking down Clemson and sweeping Clemson, right? It would be interesting. You're going to get this whole thing where, say, Coastal Carolina is the 8th seed and Clemson is the 9th seed. And Clemson's like, well, we played in the ACC and their schedule is harder. Clemson's strength of schedule is 16. Coastal Carolina's is 58. And Clemson's complaining that they played a harder schedule, but yet didn't beat Coastal Carolina twice. You had your shot and you didn't do it twice. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. All right. And again, a lot of pressure on the G5s. You don't have any room to maneuver. You have to win all your games for the rest of it. You can lose one in the conference tournament. I don't think that's going to hurt you. But you're going to have to win it if they want to be a national seed. I don't think, if they win the 2 series and flame out, they'll still host. I don't think there's in any danger of hosting right now, unless they lose a series, which I don't think they will. They are really good. All right. And that was the weekday pitching, not even the weekend of pitching. So they looked pretty good. On the other hand, Troy did not. All right. So we'll go over that when we come back after I tell you about Upwork. Scaling your business requires the right expertise at the right time. With Upwork, you can find specialized freelancers in marketing, development, design, and more. Experts ready to help you take your business to the next level. Upwork gives businesses flexibility by connecting them with top freelance talent across multiple industries, including IT, AI, web development, and marketing. Whether you need extra hands for a project or a long-term partner, Upwork makes hiring simple and affordable. Fast and easy hiring. Posting a job is free and simple, within a day with multiple qualified candidates to choose from. Visit Upwork.com right now and post your job for free. That's UPWORK.com. Upwork.com to connect with top talent and grow your business today. All right, Dave Schultz, Locked On Sunbelt, your teams every day. Again, it could be bourbon. It's not. It's just coffee. I'd show you, but then I'd spill the coffee on the computer. All right. On the other hand, Troy falls to Alabama 10-2. And the bats weren't there, and they fell behind incredibly quickly, as much as Coastal Carolina set the tone. So did Alabama. 4 in the first, 3 in the second. And Troy couldn't get off the mat. And you feel bad for a guy like Jacob Rodigan, who doesn't pitch that much, but this is his 8th appearance yesterday. He's given up runs in 2 of them. He's given up an earned run in 1 of them. All right. He's given up 3 earned runs in 1 outing. Gave up 4 yesterday. So you kind of feel bad. He's had a nice little season and couldn't, actually started off well. First pitch, ground out to third. Off to a great start. 1 pitch, 1 out. How about that? Then a home run. All right, settle down. All right, 1-0, move on. Nope. Single, hit by pitch. Bases are loaded. Then a single and 2-run score. You get a ground out, and that brings home another run. And then you finally get another ground out. And that was it for him. And then Alabama in the second inning, actually, same thing. You get Felinsky in there now. First pitch, ground out to short. Again, 1 out, nobody on. 2 hit by pitches. Fowler hit by a pitch. LeBron hit by a pitch. Now, this is where coaching comes into play. Because if I'm trying to win the game, I got to get Felinsky out of there. You can't hit back-to-back guys and stay with the pitcher because it's not going to get any better. But I might need Felinsky in a tight spot later on. So, in all reality, I know it's only 4-0 in the second, but it's not exactly 1-0 in the second inning or 0-0. So I'm going to let Felinsky and try and get out of it to see what he's got, to see if I can use him later on. And it doesn't go well. 3-run home run. And that was it for Felinsky. And basically, the ball game was over. They did have a shot in the 6th. I think they may have loaded the bases in the 6th inning, and it was only 8-0 at the time. And they already got a run home, but it was with 2 outs. But, a couple of base hits makes it a ball game. But they didn't get it done. And so this is going to be the only concern for Troy. And again, I know it's midweek. It's a midweek ball game, so we're going to get midweek pitchers. I get it. But are the bats going to be enough to overcome the pitching? All right. And now let's see what happened here. All right. Because in terms of RPI, because at first, Coastal Carolina didn't move up. It took a little minute for them to move up from 12 to 11. Let's see how far Troy went down. They went down 3 spots. They were 45. To me, that's bubble territory. All right. That is 100% bubble territory. You take 2 out of 3 from Arkansas State, and they're on the road to Arkansas State, you're going to be closer to 50 than you are to 40. You got the Southern Miss series coming up. But remember, last week, Southern Miss beat Arkansas State on Friday and fell from 31 to 36 before they played in the next ballgame. Now, they swept them, so they ended up moving a grand total of up 1 spot. Now, Troy, lose 1 ball game to Arkansas State, and you're going to find yourself closer to 50 than you are 40 by the end of the series. Just saying. That's what's going to happen. You may get a couple of more bonus points because you beat them on the road, but you lose to them, you're going to be closer to 50 than you are 40. And then you get into the top 60, as far as I'm concerned, you're off of the bubble. And again, it's very odd. They're ranked in the top 15 in the nation, and they're 45th RPI. D1 baseball has Troy as a number 2 seed in Tallahassee, not a 3 seed, a number 2 seed. I guess I could be wrong. I don't think the media and the polling has anything to do with how these teams are seeded. I think it is straight D1 RPI, not D1.com, but NCAA Division I baseball RPI ratings. They basically go down. More softball does it, but they basically take them from there and they seed them that way. Lose or beat Arkansas State 2 out of 3, you're going to be closer to 50 than 40. Now, you take 2 out of 3 from Southern Miss at home, you'll be back in the top 40 and you'll be fine. But you can be a few sleepless nights for Skylar Mead and company until we get there. All right. And so Troy's got one thing going for them. They haven't lost a series this year. They've won every single series. They haven't swept yet either. All right. So they haven't lost a series, but they haven't swept one yet either. So if we're going by history, they'll probably beat Arkansas State. Not sure they're going to sweep them because they haven't done that yet. So, again, they went from 42 to 45. If they beat Alabama, then they're 39. Big difference. So if you lose 1 to Arkansas State, you fall to 44. Instead, now if you lose 1 to Arkansas State, you're probably 50. And you fall into the top 60. Now you're not in bubble territory as far as I'm concerned. You're off of bubble territory. You ain't going outside of a run in the Sun Belt Conference Tournament or Sun Belt Conference Tournament Championship. Whew. So, things can change fast. They could sweep them just like Southern Miss did, and they'll probably be, I don't know if they'll be top 40. They'll be close. But again, you take 2 out of 3 from Southern Miss, and that'll settle it. They'll be top 40, and they'll be fine. All right, heading into the Sun Belt Conference Tournament. Again, I still think it's going to be 3 teams in the Sun Belt Conference Tournament or NCAA Tournament, and I still think it'll be one of the 3 teams, Coastal, Troy, or Southern Miss. I'd be shocked if one of those 3 teams don't win it, and the more I'm thinking about it, I'll be shocked if it's not Coastal and Southern Miss not playing for the Sun Belt Championship. All right. We'll see. We get a little bit of a preview. We'll see what happens with the Cajuns and Southern Miss this weekend. We'll see if the Cajuns can hang with the Golden Eagles. All right. All right. Let's take a time out. We do have a conference tournament happening as of today. Softball is kicking off. Texas State coming in with some momentum. They are the defending softball champions. We'll talk a little softball when we come back, right after I tell you about FanDuel. The NBA playoffs are in full swing, and every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off. With player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays, fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. New to FanDuel? It's a perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. All right, Dave Schultz, Lockdown Sunbelt, your teams every day. Can you lose 5 pounds in like 3 days? Because that's what I've done. I don't know if that's possible. Put 10 pounds on in 2 weeks. That's easy. Taking off a few pounds. Well, maybe not 5 pounds. Yeah, 5 pounds. Yeah. We'll see what happens the rest of the week. Anyway. All right. Sunbelt softball tournament opening on Wednesday. We do have same thing as baseball. You get the bottom 4 seeds. Kicking it off is Coastal Carolina taking on Southern Miss. 7 Coastal Carolina taking on number 10 Southern Miss. That is at 4 p.m. Central Time. Number 8 Troy taking on number 9 James Madison. That's at 7 p.m. Central Time or shortly thereafter. Boy, JMU has fallen off a little bit. They used to be a power Sunbelt, power softball program. Interesting there. So coming into this, Texas State actually went into Monroe and swept the Warhawks. Remember, Texas State took down the Raging Cajuns last year. I do think it was in San Marcos, so they had, home field advantage. That hasn't stopped the Cajuns before. So that's a good job by Texas State, not only winning the Sun Belt Conference tournament last year, but they swept ULM, and they're the number 1 seed. So that's good for Texas State, bad for ULM, because ULM fell from would have been the number 1 seed to the number 4 seed. And I think they play Texas State if they win. So Texas State, again, it's the game winner versus game winner, but if Texas State wins and ULM wins, they face each other, is the way it should be. And that may be an issue for ULM. So we'll see if Texas State can pull this out. And now we're going to do a little history book. I mean, this is going to sound ridiculous. When was the last time the Cajuns didn't win the Sun Belt Championship 2 years in a row? Because that's what we're looking at here. Right? I mean, they're doing it last year. They are coming into this tournament hot, if you will. I think they're the 3 seed, but I mean, they got a shot at not winning it. I'm trying to go down the Sun Belt record book here. Championship results. Okay, so now we got to go. Okay, 2024 was Texas State. 2023 is the Cajuns, right? All right, 2022 is the Cajuns. 2021 is the Cajuns. Nothing for 2020. That's COVID. 2019 is the Cajuns, right? 2018 was Texas State in Lafayette, nonetheless. Okay. So far, we have two teams that have won the Sun Belt Championship since 2018. That's Texas State and the Cajuns. All right. 2017 was the Cajuns. 2016 in San Marcos was the Cajuns. 2015 in San Marcos was South Alabama. They actually beat the Cajuns. All right. 2014, that was the first time I covered it. That was the Cajuns taking down South Alabama. All right. Let's see here. 2013 in Troy. That looks like South Alabama took down Western Kentucky. And that's the first. So from 2013, how about this one? From 2013 to 2024, the Cajuns have either won it or played for it. How about that? And this could be the first time since then that they haven't won it twice in a row. All right. So let me go back to that. So 2014, they won it. We haven't found 2 years in a row where they haven't won it yet, right? We've got a couple of times they haven't won it. So they didn't win it in 2013. 2012, they didn't win it. They did lose it to South Alabama. So the last time the Cajuns didn't win it 2 years in a row was 2012 and 2013. They won it in 2011. They won it in 2010. They won in 2009, 2008. And then they even got to go back to 2007. That's Florida Atlantic. All right. 2006 is the Cajuns. So obviously the Cajuns have dominated this tournament. So you got to go back. What do we say? 2012, 2013. That has been 2 years since they didn't win it 2 years in a row. And obviously I would think that Texas State is your is the clubhouse leader. Marshall is number 2 in the standings. ULM finished losing 5 in a row, including 3 to Texas State. Cajuns won 4 in a row, finished 4th. All right. So ULM is your 3rd seed, but they come in limping a little bit. Cajuns 4th seed. They've won 4 in a row. So we'll see what happens. See who the. Again, we don't, we have to wait till those other games are played out. But Texas State is your favorite, and they got a good shot at winning back-to-back titles for the first time ever. And again, really interesting that basically it's been South Alabama, Texas State, and the Cajuns for the better part of a decade that have only won this tournament. So that appears to be going to be the case unless Marshall, obviously a newcomer, or ULM can break through. But I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised if it's anyone but Texas State going to win this conference tournament. All right, we'll see if the Cajuns have put it together late. Been playing better. Obviously, most of their team is in Lubbock, playing for Jerry Glasgow and Texas Tech. One's playing in Norman for Oklahoma. She's having a great season. And so maybe the team has taken a little bit of time to gel and figure things out, and maybe they have. We shall see. They'll have a shot at reclaiming that title here this week. All right. Quickly, Sun Belt baseball today. Couple of midweek ball games. You do have Georgia State hosting USC Upstate, James Madison taking on Maryland. Old Dominion is at VCU, and Troy is at Samford. ULM is actually starting their series against Coastal on Thursday. That's interesting. So that series is going to end on Saturday. Quick preview of the weekend series. ULM is at Coastal. Georgia State hosting Marshall. Old Dominion is at JMU. Big series. Marshall at Georgia State's big. Old Dominion at JMU is big. Texas State at Georgia Southern is big. Can Arkansas State turn things around? They get Troy. What can South Alabama do against App State? Both those schools are heading in the wrong direction. And huge weekend series. the Cajuns and Southern Miss. Great rivalry. No love loss at all between them. It's going to be a lot of fun. Probably some Cajun fans are going to go. Hopefully everybody has, some fun without any fisticuffs breaking out and can enjoy what is some good baseball. All right. It should be some really good baseball. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. Appreciate all of the support. You guys are the best. I will be back again on Thursday with another episode of Locked on Sunbelt.